It's your girl Stylicia. Today we'll be learning how to drape a basic bodice using a dress form. We're going to need a clear ruler, a 90 degrees ruler, a curved armhole ruler, tape measure, muslin, scissors. Now that we've gotten everything, we're going to take the measurement of the dress form. First we need to measure from the pin mark at the neck of the center front to the waist at the center front. You could either measure above the waistline, which is this tape, or below. I'm going to measure below the waistline, and also you have to keep your measurements consistent. So if you've done below the waistline, you should do below the waistline for the back also if you bought it. Center front neck to center front waist, I'll say it's 15 inches, and then we need to measure also the bust line, the arc of the bust line. That's going to be our width. We go past the side seam a little bit, just right on the side seam. Don't pass it, I'm sorry. So from side seam to center front bust, it's going to be 9, hold on, you got to keep it on the bust too, guys. It's going to be 9.5 inches. So the length is 15 inches and the width is 9.5 inches. Two things to note: straight grain parallel with selvage, cross grain runs perpendicular to the straight grain. Now that we know this, we're going to get our muslin prepared. Note also, we always drape on the straight grain. You always drape on the straight grain. So the straight grain will be your length. Now, when I measured my dress form, the length was 15 inches. We're going to add 5 inches to the 15 inch for room for draping, because when we drape, we want to have more material than less. After we finish draping, then we could cut the excess. So you're going to add 5 inches to whatever you got for your measurements for your length, and then add 5 inches also to the width. So after you stretch, just like I did, like so, oops, and we make sure everything is even in a nice, perfect square, then we're gonna mark the straight grain and the cross grain. First, to mark the straight grain, we use our clear ruler. You mark 1 inch from the selvage, like so, and then you draw the straight line down 1 inch from selvage. Then after that, we're going to use our 90-degree ruler, and we're going to mark the cross grain. We're going to line it up with the straight grain line to make sure it's a straight line, and then we go across. Then after, on your straight grain, you're going to mark the straight grain line, which is an arrow. I'll show you after. And then you put center front, like so. And this line that we've marked for the straight grain, we're going to fold it on the line. You're going to fold it on the line and then press it. And we're going to start pinning our muslin on the dress form. Okay, now the part that we have fold, which is center front, we're going to place it directly on the center front of the dress form. And when you're pinning your muslin on the dress form, ensure that the cross grain line matches up to the bust line. Okay, and make sure it goes straight across. So we got to make sure it matches up. So you do this. You're going to pin in the direction of the fabric and the dress form. So ensure that you're pinning on the cross grain matches cross grain and straight grain matches straight grain. At the princess line, we're going to stick 2 pins in. cross grain, I'm ensuring that it's going against the cross grain, so the fabric won't move. Okay. Now we're gonna pin the side of the muslin. When we're pinning the side of the muslin on the dress form, we pass the side seam, and again we're going to pin on the straight grain for the side seam. Let's just stick some pins around the neck of the dress form. We've pinned the neckline, we're going to pin the shoulder tip. When you're pinning the shoulder tip, you're going to go a little beyond the shoulder tip, just a little bit. Now we're going to go on to pinning the armhole. Now there are 4 points for the armhole: the shoulder tip, the screw level, which is right here, and the side seam, also the front notch. So shoulder tip is already pinned, so we're going to go to the screw level, stick a pin right in the screw level. Side seam is already pinned. Now, little bit below your screw level, we're supposed to pinch 1/8 of an inch for ease. We've done that. We're gonna pin the waist. Remember, I measured beneath the waistline, so I'm gonna use below the waistline. So I'm gonna pin it. This we're gonna pin cross grain, so it doesn't move. So now that we're done pinning the muslin on the dress form, we're going to trace. You're going to trace the waistline. If you mark the waist, if you had measured the waist above the tape, then you obviously going to trace the waistline above the tape. If it's below, then you trace below. So trace the waistline, the neck, the shoulder, the armholes, and also the side seam. Okay everyone, I'm walking you through the dress form. This is the waist line. See how I traced it? Traced it all the way around, turning my dress form. We're going to remove all the pins from the waistline. So let's remove all the pins from the waistline. After we remove all the pins from the waistline, then we're going to smooth it in to get the dart, to find the dart. It's free. Now we're going to smooth in the fabric to the princess line. So smooth in all the excess fabric to the princess. And right on the princess line, That's gonna be your dart. Once you find the dart, you're gonna have a new waistline. So retrace your new waistline and then mark the old one out so you can see, cross it out. Also, you're gonna trace the dart as well. Here, where the fold is, trace up to there, you mark it, and you trace all the way down. Bodice is off the dress form. This is how it looks. And I still kept the pinch in, the pin for the 1/8 pinch, okay? But basically this is how it looks. Okay, now we're gonna true it. To start truing, we're gonna find the center of the dart. To find the center of the dart, we're gonna measure from one dart leg to the other dart leg. So it's just from this dart leg to this dart leg. Then we're gonna find the center of it. We're gonna draw a line straight leading from the center of the dart to the vanishing point. Then you're gonna drop your vanishing point 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. Now we're gonna fold back the dart, and we're gonna use the center of it as a guideline. So we fold it like so, and then we're gonna pin it. This is what it should look like when you have pinned the dart, when you have closed the dart and we have pinned it. That's what it should look like. Okay? After we've done that, now we're gonna true the waistline. So we're gonna use this ruler, this French curve, and we're gonna true the line. Always hold the curvier part of the ruler towards the side seam, okay? So we're gonna line this up like so. See? Then we're gonna trace the new waistline. The next step we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the armhole 1 inch down. So we're gonna go 1 inch down with the armhole. So this was the original armhole right here. Then you're gonna drop it 1 inch down. So after you drop your armhole 1 inch down, you're gonna remake the armhole and then true that line, and then we're finished with the front of the basic bodice, and this is what it should look like. So this is what it should look like when we have trued it and repinned it on the dress form to test the fitting. See? This is the new arm that we dropped 1 inch. So after you've tested fitting to make sure everything fits perfect, we're finished.